Boy, can I help you?
Listen up. I'm bringing you the best content to ever exist in the door-to-door industry, from sales, leadership, recruiting, and personal development.
Why would I need that?
Because never before have we been able to collaborate with the top experts in their industries, sharing their secrets and techniques on what makes them the best.
Wait, who are you?
I'm your host, Sam Taggart, creator of the D2D Experts and D2D Con. Is there a place we can sit down?
Well, come on in.
Register today for D2D Con, January 10th through 12th. Learn from over 40 amazing speakers, including the real Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. Come as a team, learn as a team, leave as a tribe.
All right, everybody, I'm Sam Taggart, your host with the D2D Podcast, and I have an awesome guest today. Really different, unique background, something that we don't commonly do, but the network marketing background and social media marketing. So super excited to have an expert on the podcast today, Justin Pitts, who has made multiple months, over 6 figures a month, and created multiple different coaching and consulting businesses, network marketing chains, and leveraged social media to the max to really grow that. You know, unconventional, where most of us are just like the pavement, grind. So we're going to get some interesting, different tactics and tools that we can leverage in our industry that you guys have kind of applied in your industry and kind of put the two together. So super excited to have you on the show.
Awesome.
Welcome out. So first tell me kind of a little bit about you, how you got started into direct sales and all that.
Yeah.
Give me a loop.
So I started out about 10 years ago actually working on the corporate side. So I was hired on with a multi-billion-dollar company as a director of marketing. So I started working and I saw the paychecks that people were making in the field. And some of their monthly checks were what I was making annually there. And I started to have a problem.
If that's you, if you're listening to this podcast, give this a heart, because think about that. I mean, there's been so many times where I know, for example, Bryce Jones, he's a solar guy, and he was customer service, and he's sitting there wait a minute, I accidentally saw these checks.
Right.
And then boom, immediately he's like, I'm doing sales.
Yep, it's so true. And so for me, that was a big part of it. I was seeing these checks and I was working and training these people. So they were using my methods to help make the money. And I was just enough was enough. And so I left, jumped into the industry, was able to build a huge multi-million-dollar organization within a short amount of time, about 7 to 8 months. And it's just kind of leveraged itself from there. So it's been an awesome opportunity to use the skills that I've acquired, but also to make great money and have fun with it.
And so recently in January, you started over again.
I did.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to jump back into the network marketing game just because you were bored and wanted to see what you could do.
Yeah.
And what have you kind of done since January?
Since January, we're on track to hit the company's highest rank by the end of the year. So we have a lot of potential. So that means multi-millions of dollars in volume created within the organization. We're in 17 different countries. I mean, it's global expansion since January 16th. So a lot of fun opportunity. But again, that's because we're using social media, right? Where we're using and working with over 1 billion active users.
Yeah. So tell me, give us an idea. When you say, I'm a brand new guy starting January, how many people do you feel like you have in your downline, or that are active recruits, we could call those? Give us kind of a perspective.
So when I started, it was me, right? And then I reached out to probably 20 of my top people. So that first month, my very first month with a new company, I brought in about $8,500, which in network marketing, your first month is a little rough, right? People tend to struggle. So that was probably 25 recruits that came in that month. And then from there, it's become into the tens of thousands of people that are coming in, that are excited, that are motivated to do things. And it just kind of dominoes.
Massive domino effect.
Massive, yeah.
So it's 25 to tens of thousands of people.
Absolutely.
And in our industry, it's we can't even fathom that sometimes,
right?
Because it's hard to grow globally and door-to-door the same way you guys can.
Right,
but at the same time, the principles of expansion and networking and finding these people and getting them signed on, getting them motivated, all are the exact same.
It's the same.
And I think a lot of people don't want to draw the parallel because we're we do door to door. No, it's not an MLM. It's not network marketing.
And saying we're the opposite.
I know.
So
you're we don't knock doors.
Door to door.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's so funny, but at this exact same time, it's it's the same stuff. You're getting people to sell. You're recruiting. You're enrolling. You're out there pushing product. It's the same stuff. So I'm excited to dive into some of these principles that you've done to go from 25 to tens of thousands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. So I've got a lot of questions. My brain's just spinning.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So when you first got those initial 25 people, what was kind of your your game plan there? Like what did you do to get rolling? Because a lot of people, you know, they're trying to build, like they're like, oh, I got back from a successful summer, I know I do this, but I want to manage. Where do I get started?
Right.
So how did you get that thing rolling?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously in network marketing, tons of people flounder, right? They get in there and they struggle to know how to continue growing. And so the first thing that we did, and I mean, I'll tell you, the first 25 people were connections I've made in the years.
So your
right?
own network.
So my own network of people I worked with, I talked with.
How do you approach them?
I'm very direct. I just come up and say, hey, I'm ready to make money again. You want to join? Like, there's no questions. There's nothing.
It's not like, hey man, like,
no,
let's go to lunch.
No. I'm straightforward with it. Like, I'm doing something again. I'm ready to make money. Are you in? And I think that's a huge strategy that you need to have across the board with sales. Whether you're knocking doors, whether you're using social media, like, don't waste people's time. Don't beat around the bush. Like, a lot of times I truthfully don't care how someone's doing if I'm just messaging them all of a sudden. And so I just go for it. Just say exactly what you're thinking. Say like, hey, I'm looking for this. I want to do this. Are you interested? And if they're interested, great. If not,
and I think I think people appreciate that because I think in the game of recruiting, a lot of times people, they play the card of like, let me just kind of like wine and dine you for like 2 or 3 messages. And then it's like, come on, people know the agenda. It's no new rodeo. It's like, let's just be real.
It's true. And I mean, honestly, the people that you do want to keep in touch with, you keep in touch with them so you know what's going on. So those other people, it just comes across as fake. So it's better just to be out there, be straightforward, and just go for it.
For sure.
So that's how it started. And then everyone that joins has a 90-day start plan. So for their first 90 days, they know exactly what to do. Like, we take the thought process out of it for these guys.
Did you create that, or is that a company thing?
No, something that I created.
Okay, so explain that.
For the team. So it was talk to this many people per day. Here's the scripts that you use. Here's what you need to do on social media. So maybe it's 2 to 3 posts per day. Maybe it's have your profile picture look a certain way, like specifics to help them, because we want to make it dummy proof. I mean, we want everyone to be able to succeed across the board. So what we've done is we've taken the thought process out. So it's, if you do this, this, and this, you'll make this amount your first month. If you do these things, you'll make this your second. And so it's all about duplication. So that first 90 days, once I had started with those 20-some people, the rest was kind of a domino effect.
Because you could hold them accountable, hold their hand through your process. You're like, just do this.
Correct.
So here's the question. How do you hold them accountable? What is the check-in, the accountability, the calls, what is your process there?
Right. So first and foremost, I screen people, right? So I'm only going to take those that are actually serious about doing it. So if they are guessing for one moment, like maybe I want to make money, maybe I don't, maybe I want to do this, maybe I don't even give them the time of the day. So first off, we make sure that we have the highest of the high quality people ready to go, ready to make money, ready to see a difference. So that helps already with the accountability because they're so excited to succeed. And then what we do is, we have chats, we have group systems set up where we're educating their customers and prospects for them. So they literally, we use a method called ATM, add tag message. So they literally can add someone to a group where we're educating on our products, we're educating on our opportunity, and they just tag them in a post and say, hey, I thought this would be something you'd be interested in. And then they message them after and follow up. So we've created an entire duplication system where they're not having to be the expert, they're just using the system that's been given.
Because it's like you're already educating, you're the expert,
Correct.
And they're just putting their people in the system.
Correct.
And
so they plug them in.
Because you're already going to train, you're already going to do a call. It's kind of like add them, tag them, and then message them and follow up.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we're there to help with that. So we have those weekly calls and those systems where we do. Facebook Messenger is great for team calls because you can get everyone on there, you can see everyone's face, and you get everyone excited. So we'll do a weekly team call where it's like 20 minutes on Facebook. These people get super stoked. They see everyone, they see the growth, and then the social proof leverages the success into the next week.
So it's once a week call. What do you do in the week to kind of make sure that they're on track with that 90 days?
Yeah. So again, everything's done on social media for us. So we have group chats, right, where people can message, they can ask questions.
And the group chats are the Facebook Messenger chats?
Facebook Messenger chats, yep. So everything's there. So they can message. Again, we have team groups. So like all of the people that are actively selling the product, they're in these groups. So they're interacting, they're asking questions, they're sharing success stories. So that keeps people excited. I will go in and do a Facebook Live several times a week in these groups as well with a quick sales tip, something to do, trying something out a little different to really tweak social media or to tweak their business. And then also we have a place where they can go if they're stuck, like they feel like they're doing everything exactly and they're not seeing the results. We tell them to post what they've done and we'll evaluate it for them and be like, okay, you did this, but you only kind of half did this, and we can fix it and tweak it. So we really are hands-on working with them. And then we have some people who just take off and do their own thing. But as a whole, that comes to the support from the groups.
That's cool. So leveraging groups, leveraging Facebook Messenger, the Facebook calls, any other things that you're like, in that first 90 days, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like what are some of those things? It's like, you gotta, like you said, certain amount of posts, a certain amount, like other things that you're like, man, this is a must in that 90 days to grow.
So one of the big things that we push in the 90 days is really to boost your social media, like the algorithm that you hear people talk about all the time. And one of the first things that we tell people is stop commenting, start messaging. So if you see someone who does a post and it's about their kid or whatever, instead of commenting on that, go ahead and send them a message. Hey, I saw the picture of your kid. They look like they're getting big or whatever it may be, because Facebook is going to boost things much more for you that way. They're going to show your content. You're going to see those people's content. It's going to automatically start up a conversation with these people. So we really teach the importance of leveraging Messenger, right?
Okay.
Like you,
because
really
everybody
want
checks
to
their
use-
Messenger.
Everyone does. And it can be annoying. Like you don't want to use it to spam people. Like you don't just go in and start sending message after message to buy my product, but you leverage it in a way where it's huge. So that's one of the first things, where it's to stop commenting, start messaging. Also, Facebook stories. We teach the importance of Facebook stories.
Is Facebook story and Instagram story different?
It's different and it's the same idea.
Okay.
So yeah, it is different. And so for those that don't know, right, it's the little circles that you see above like Messenger and stuff. So this is Facebook's way to compete with Snapchat and other platforms. And so they want this to be used. And so you post parts of your day. So if you're out and about knocking doors, post random pictures of you like at the grind, right? Working, knocking, talking to people, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And you put short captions. Never tell what you're doing, but pique the interest to get people to ask you. And when they comment to your story, it automatically goes to your inbox. So it automatically generates a conversation. So for me, I'm with a health company, right? So I may post a picture of like my morning supplement. And that supplement, I won't say what it is. I don't show the name of the company. I do nothing. But I'll be like a morning must, or must have the energy to get started. And then I'll have people throughout the day messaging me. Well, what is it? What do you take? What does it do? Well, I've now generated 5 or 10 leads from a simple story that stays on for 24 hours.
I love that. So how would you leverage that in recruiting? Like how do you see your people leveraging the recruiting aspect of that?
So same type of thing, right? You want to pique interest. So everything that you do is about piquing interest with these people. So maybe you have a great month and you take a picture of like your paycheck and you be like, this is what I made this month, or great way to grow a side hustle, right? And you're piquing their interest. You're not showing them again the name of the company. You're not showing them all of the full amount or the details. But like that first month when I had done the $8,500, right, in the first month with this new company, people were like very interested. Because most people start out and they make $100 or they make $200, or if they're lucky, they get their order for free, right? So you want to pique that interest with the recruiting aspect of it. So you want to do things to show the fun side of it, where people are attracted to it. So if you win something, so one of the things is an iPad or Apple Watch with our company, right? So if you win those things, post it and be like, check out what I just won, or 10 hours equals free iPad. Different things to pique that interest to show people, because then when they message you, it becomes a great conversation. Guess what? I did this and this is what I did it. If you're interested, let me know and I can get you more information.
Cool.
So same type of thing.
So about that conversation, how do you approach the message, right? Like when people are like, hey, what is that? Like at what point are you like, yeah, come join my team, versus kind of baby them, like warming them up to the idea a little bit? Like kind of tell us your thought process behind that.
So I think the biggest thing is, so one thing that I've noticed is on Facebook is people all of a sudden have like a huge set of balls on social media, or they feel like they do. So they're much more bold, right? But the biggest thing is to remember, first off, is be yourself, right? So if it's natural, bring it up. So if someone messages me right away and they're like, so how did you win this? Or how did this work? I'm going to send them a message direct. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm going to say, hey, I did this from my company. This is what it is. If you're interested in receiving one or winning one, let me know and I'll give you the details. There's not a lot of back and forth chatter.
Okay.
Now, if they come on and they're like, oh, I love iPads, I would love to have one, and it's more of a conversation type thing, then I'll have that conversation with them. But again, within 3 to 4 messages, I'm getting to the point of that. Cool. Because they've reached out to me, I'm opening up that chapter for them.
So let's kind of transition into creating a following, boosting your people that actually watch what you do, care about what you do, because it's like, it's one thing, it's like, I got 5 followers. It's like, how much I got, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I think a lot of people are still trying to get traction around that. What would you do to kind of make sure you're getting more followers and more people are attracted to what you do? What are some hacks there?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is consistency, right? Like you have to be consistent. So if you're able to do 1 post a day, do 1 post a day consistently. If you're able to do 2 or 3 posts a day, do it and be consistent. But also, in addition to being consistent, because you do want to post, you want to post things that are actual. So within network marketing, you hear it a lot. Someone will be like, oh, check out this great promotion, and they don't invite people to interact, right? So like if you and I were to have a face-to-face conversation and I was like, hey, this product is 50% off, and then I just walked away, you're not going to have much to say. Mm-hmm. But if I create a post that is engaging, so this product's 50% off, or this business opportunity is phenomenal, ask me about details. Check this out. Learn
So like
a bit more.
call to action. in a
Right.
sense.
Treat it like a conversation. Social media was designed to be social. So you want to treat it and get people
Instead
involved.
of just like, look at me.
Right, exactly.
Dude, I suck at that. No.
Dude, most people do.
I know. I'm like,
do.
check this out. And that's where it ends.
Right, but what's your engagement like, right? If you have a bunch of like-minded people, which
Mm-hmm.
happens, right? As you get followings, they're going to interact. But as a whole, if I see that, I'm not going to stop and talk because I'm like, maybe they're just proud of themselves. Maybe they're just talking about something that's exciting, but there was no invitation to engage. So you want to make sure that everything you're doing has some form of an invitation. So you may post a quote, right? Like maybe you've had a crappy day knocking doors and you're just pissed at the world. Well, you could post a quote that you might like, but again, don't just post a picture of that quote. Post a picture of why you posted it. Why is this happening? Why do you feel this way? How does this relate to your business, to what you're doing, whatever? And then ask people. So let's say you posted a quote and you're like, man, today sucked. Nothing came from it. Ask people, what is your favorite quote that you listen to or that you read when things are hard? Get people interacting because it will boost that following a ton. So, yeah.
I love that. What about, so different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchats, the Periscopes, the YouTube, like hacks on, I mean, we've talked kind of mainly Facebook. Is that your main go-to, or do you have, how do you leverage because dude, I swear, it's like I posted here, but do I have to go post the same photo here? Do I have to, you know what I mean? Like, tell me kind of what your philosophy is on that.
So I use all of the different platforms, right? I usually talk about Facebook just because within our first 90 days, that's what we focus on with people because most people are more familiar with Facebook.
Yeah.
I love Instagram. It's a phenomenal platform to use. But if you're just starting out, pick one, right? Like pick one, be consistent. As far as what you said, like separate content. You don't want to post the same content all the time in multiple places.
Yeah,
because you want to give your followers something different to look at.
Yeah.
And even though Facebook and Instagram are owned by Facebook, you want to have it's optimized a bit different. So go out and take a great picture and put it on Instagram with minimal text. Facebook, you can have a bit more of a conversation. You can do a bit more about that. So you want to optimize those different platforms to the way that they were created to be used. And that does take some practice. It takes some getting used to. But Instagram's phenomenal. Pinterest is also another one that's really big where you can use a lot. So you can create your own boards of your own interest and you can get people to follow those. And it becomes something very quick. And they're sharing your content. So it's getting you exposure on other platforms as well.
Okay, so even in like a network marketing or a door-to-door, you would still leverage the Pinterest.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And I mean, Pinterest is mainly used by women, right? I think it's like 96% women and probably 80% of those are in Utah. So it is a very interesting...
Hey, we're going to Pinners.
Yeah.
My wife and I have a booth at Pinners.
There you go.
Check us out in November.
So you can do a lot, right, with it. But again... leverage it and use it correctly. Master one, and you can do a ton. I mean, door to door, post what your day's like. Create pins or Instagram, right? Like post what your day is like. Post what you're doing. Post how you're recruiting, whatever it may be. People will start to follow this, and it picks up pretty quick.
Yeah. Have you found like certain types of content resonate better? Like, do you have like a formula around? I post this many quotes versus this many questions versus this many funnies versus this many motivation. You know, like is there a balance that you have? Or are you like, man, this one works way better, so I just kind of focus more on the motivating versus the curious? You know what I mean? Like, there's different characters I feel like you can kind of play. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm the funny guy on social media versus the Like, tell me kind of a little bit on that.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is you want to be you, right? So if you look at your life, like you're not just the funny guy all the time.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing a post, I'll have a post about my life, like something that is my life outside of my work, right? But then I will also have a work post and tie it into how it works with my life. So however you are in life, like you want that to be on social media. So I have someone that's on my team that they do like comedy in the evenings. So they'll do comedy post. They also like to take photography and do different pictures and things. They'll do photography post because you want people, remember these people friended you for you, not your business or what you're selling. So you want them to be able to come to your page and find value. You want them to be able to come to your page and be like, okay, this person is more than just a product that they sell. And that's more the case in network marketing, right? Like people will post over and over and over again a product.
Yeah.
And then you lose your friends because
they're like, I'm
annoyed
just
that-
them all over. Yeah, because that's the question. Because it's like, do you have, like, what's the difference between I have a personal Instagram that I have actually way more following and engagement with, then I have a D2D Experts Instagram, and I have other businesses. But it's
Right.
like I never know what to post. Like, do I never promote business on my personal and always promote it on the businessy one, or do I mix the two, or do I delete the businessy one
Right.
and just be the Sam Taggart Instagram? Like, you know what I mean? It's like where's the balance between it's like, here's my businessy Instagram because I don't want my friends that are like my family's like, stop posting about work.
Right.
So like, what's the balance there, and what would be your advice on that?
Yeah. So I think there's a couple things, right? So you do want to have that balance, and there's 5,000 different opinions out there on how to do it. So I am a huge fan of branding yourself.
Okay.
So be the Sam Taggart, right? Be the Justin Pitts, be whatever it is that you want to be, brand yourself as that person. I don't do anything with business pages. A lot of times I have a couple of them, but I just don't deal with them much. Nothing against them. They are a great way to grow.
Yeah, because
but
I feel like Facebook hides your business. It's like I post something on my business thing. It's like, get like 25
Right.
people that saw it.
But
You know
it's
what I mean?
because what happens is you're making it to business, right? Like show your passion about your business and your post will succeed. It'll be much more. But it's finding that balance, right? You don't want your friends to be that way, but also my friends know that I've been super successful, that my network marketing business is a huge part of who I am, and there's going to be posts about it because that is my brand. So I'll post like coaching things where I talk to people. I will talk about clients or experiences or rank advancements or like recognitions, and I'll do all of that on my personal page because I want people to see it. But also remember, you can do list on Facebook, so that way you can select. So I have like my family and close friends in a list. Well, if I don't want them to see all my business posts, I just don't select them as that post. So when they go to my Facebook, they still see Justin Pitts personal, right? So I have everything set up. So depending on where you fall within those lists, it depends on the content that you see.
That makes sense.
So you can do a lot on the back end to make it so that way those people that need to see the content and that are going to act to it can see it.
So when you select public or private, or you can actually add to that.
Yeah,
and
so
say,
public, private, and then there's like an other where you can create a list of people.
Okay.
So or you can do like everyone but these people.
Well, that's brilliant. That's
So-
like, and then I wouldn't feel as bad. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, okay, it's sister. It's like, you know, because I've had like cousins
Right.
or family complain sometimes, and I'm like, this is what I do. This is how I run my business, and I've been successful through this, and I'm passionate about it.
Right.
And I feel like, you know, I guess it's like a lot of people say it's like you're gonna have haters and just whatever.
Right. Well, see, that's the other thing. Like, it comes to a point where I just don't care. Like,
Yeah.
if they don't like it, there's the unfriend button. Like, everyone has that option to do it. And now, if you look at my wall, like, it's not going to be blown up with stuff. Like, there's not crazy buy this, start here, build a business. But again, it is a part of who I am, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So, friends, family, whatever, if they don't like it, like, that's just how it is.
Cool. So any other tips and advice on leveraging social media, like, you know, that you would want to share with the space? I mean, what other tips?
So, I mean, the biggest thing, guys, is just get on it, right? Like, start using social media, because no matter where you're at, you can leverage it in huge amounts of ways. So, Instagram just recently hit 1 billion active users. So, that's a ton. Facebook has been at that for a while. You have the world at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So, my international business has grown because of leveraging social media.
Yeah, it's like there's no way you could have been like, I'm gonna meet Tommy in Uganda, or
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? It's like,
And you don't randomly just do that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but you do generate these conversations, and you get these followers and these individuals that are super interested. So get started. Like, some people think that, you know, maybe in like the door-to-door space, right, it's not something that you can benefit from. But people are still looking to buy products. You never know where that person might be and how you can connect with those people in your local area or even outside of that through social media.
So let's kind of talk on that for a second, because I think a lot of people in our space use social media to recruit, but I think they also fail to use it to sell. And I think that there's a balance between selling on it and recruiting on it, where network marketing, it's like you're either a buyer or a promoter, but you're also both. Like you're kind of like, you buy my product, then start selling it. Where door to door, it's like, I don't have, I'm buying solar now because I'm building. I don't have pest control. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's an aspect of it where you don't necessarily have to be a preacher of your own product in door to door. So talk to me a little bit about how to leverage it to actually gain customers, not so much just recruits.
Yeah. So one of the things that you can do is talk about the benefits of the product or service, right? So even if you don't use it yourself, talk about the benefits that your people who are purchasing it can have. So, and I'm not super familiar with like solar and pest control and stuff, right? I live in an apartment, so I don't have any of those things. But say you're selling pest control, right? Yeah. Well, what are some of the benefits, obviously, right? It's going to minimize
your cockroaches and bugs, and you don't get eaten by...
Talk about these things. Show fun stats about, like, so I'm from Florida. Cockroaches are everywhere. Talk about the stats. Like, did you know that a cockroach reproduces at this amount, like, or whatever it is, right? Give those stats and then be like, if this is something that concerns you, I've got a solution. Comment below. Start using it to leverage that product, because you never know who's paying attention.
Yeah.
You never know. And then if they decide later that they want to become a recruit, so to say, and you want to recruit them, you have that option, or vice versa. But share stuff with people, put stats out there, put information that really is going to help things, help people see what you do and know what you do, and that will add value to their life. If they're dealing with cockroaches at their house in the time and they see that post, I guarantee you they're going to comment.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. Your routine to recruiting, like your daily, like you keep yourself accountable, like activity around what you do that you found successful.
So every morning, 20 minutes, I do planning every morning for the day. So I
got the DDD planner. Check it out. Yeah. No, I literally made a planner. You can go look at it. Like, I'm the same way.
That's
it's
awesome.
Like, especially Sundays. Sundays, it's like,
that's the planning day.
It's like, my wife was mad at me yesterday because I probably spent 5 hours planning. She's like, are you working? I'm like, no, it's planning. It's not work.
Totally different.
It's totally different.
Yep.
Sorry, I felt like...
No, you have to plan.
I know.
Yeah. So Mondays are every day I plan for 20 minutes. So what that looks like is I have a volume goal every day. So I have a certain amount of recruits that I want to find each day, and then I have a certain amount of volume. So like today I want to do $10,000 in volume, and I want to recruit 7 new people. So that's my goal for the day. So then everything that I plan out is based upon that. Mm-hmm. So I then prioritize, okay, if it's going to generate revenue, volume, recruits, whatever, that's the first thing that I do. My social media post, my calls, my interactions, everything is based upon that volume. And then from there, I add in the other stuff. Because we get so caught up with, I need to make these calls, or I need to train my team, or these little things. And at the end of the day, what pays your paycheck is getting volume. And that's in sales in general, right? Like if you're not selling, you're not making money. If you're not recruiting, you're not making money. So that's kind of what my daily routine is. And, there's some people that'll sit out there and they'll tell you, they're going to listen to all these things and they do all of this fun stuff, and self-development and things are great. But truthfully, my self-development is like, if I'm making money, I'm happy. So that's what I do. I set the goals each morning and then we go for it. So like last week, our volume doubled where it was by the 3rd week in September.
Wow.
So when setting these daily goals and then they work towards your weekly goals, it's huge. And then it keeps you accountable. Share them with someone. So in our situation, usually people share them with their uplines or their sponsors, right? Share them with people on your team. Find someone who wants to really work on that.
I love that. So what other advice would you give? Obviously you come from a different space, but it's like, what are the inefficiencies that you've seen in door to door? Obviously you're familiar with it and whatnot, and have friends in there and worked with different companies, etc. But like the MLM market, I feel like if they could shed some light on our industry, what light would they shed on it?
So I think the biggest thing is talk to everyone, right? So door to door, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just making
I know, yeah.
Right? So you have a certain area, route, place that you go, you knock these neighborhoods or whatever. Well, within network marketing, like you literally, the world is our ability. We talk to people all over. And so I've literally gone to the grocery store at 10 o'clock at night, put some crap in my cart to look like I'm shopping, and I've gone up and down every aisle and I've talked to every person there. So that is something that you can do even within the door-to-door realm. Like, talk to people, open your mouth. Like, if you want to be successful, talk to people. And I think that's the biggest thing within network marketing is people are talking to people all the time. And sometimes that's why it's annoying, right? Because we are talking to people all the time.
But it's like, if you want to be successful, it's like, it's so funny. Like, it's a numbers game. And I think so many people, and that's why I built that Recruitomatic.
Right.
It's got this headhunter and it's got the pipeline management and messaging. Because I feel like it's like, I want to grow a team of 30 guys. And it's like, okay, well, how many did you talk to this month? It's like, well, 5. Yeah, it's like, it's like, so how are you going to get 30 guys if you only talk to 5 new guys?
Right.
It's got to be, I love that. Like, go to a grocery store, go to the gym, go to freaking schools, go to, and it's like, it's funny because you're like, I put stuff in my grocery cart just to make it look, it's like, that's okay. Like, what I mean?
It's just, so many people make excuses. Like, if you want to be successful, if you want that commission check, if you want to be one of those top earners, stop standing in your way and just do it.
Yeah.
Like, if I have a certain goal, 90% of the time I meet that goal. And it may be 10 minutes before the time is up, but I'm making sure that I don't go to sleep. I don't do anything leisure until I hit those goals, because that's just what I like to do. And so I think that's the other thing, like, and that's in sales in general, right? Like, if you want it, go for it. Don't stand in your own way. Don't say, I've got to do this, or, this came up, or, I'm distracted by this, or on those crappy days, because they do happen. There's been days where I've talked to hundreds of people and I've sold like $10 worth of stuff. But you just keep going. Like, don't let it get you down, right? Just keep moving for it. Talk to people, and that's what it's about. And be freaking confident when you do it. Like, be confident in what you're selling, be confident in what you have, and just go for it.
Cool. Well, dude, I honestly, like, wrapping this up, like, if you're on Facebook Live, comment below, interested. We'll send you a free 3-hour course on this stuff. Social media will deep dive more step-by-step, kind of what to do.
And it's designed to help you get to the point of making 6 figures a month.
Yeah.
Like, it's the steps that you need to do that.
Which is crazy, because I think a lot of people, they undershoot their goals. They undershoot how many recruits they can really get, how many product they can really push. Like, I've watched different door-to-door companies kind of adopt the social media take. I know a roofing company out of Dallas that just every day got up on this roof. Look, these guys got a new roof. And it's like, if I'm one of their friends, I'm going to probably call them and say, I need a new roof. Like, and you don't know who those people are. And I think the power of social media combined without hustling, I think just creates an ultimate sales rep, manager, recruiter, leader, like all of that.
Absolutely.
So honestly, I've just appreciated your time. Do you have any other things you would like to say or share, get out, whatever?
I guess the biggest thing, guys, is take advantage of social media. So get on social media, whether you think it's in your space or not. Get yourself out there, because you will be surprised what comes from it. I've even had experiences where I had a lady, she was in a grocery store shopping, and she was genuinely shopping. Someone came up to her who she had never met, who knew her from a Facebook Live that she did. So you never know when people are watching. That's the great thing about Facebook stories. They're public, so people can see them even if they're not your friends. So people are watching what you're doing, and you never know when you might knock some door and that person be like, oh, you're the person from social media. This is where this has happened.
Can I share a fun story? Last night, so Jeremy Call, if you're watching this, what's up? He's a speaker at Door-to-Door Con, president at Ion Solar. And I'm sitting there, I pull up my phone, I was going through pictures, and my wife was like, wait, who's that? And I was like, it's Jeremy. She's like, I know his wife. And I was like, what? And she's like, it's Kate's husband. And she literally makes me, I was like, wait, what do you mean? And so we go on, and she has 50,000 followers. And my wife's like, I'm obsessed with her. And I like text Jeremy. I was like, dude, Jeremy, my wife's like stalks your wife, like not in a creepy way, you know what I mean? But it's crazy because it's like, she literally recognized him, who's husband of the social media person, and follows him and engages. But Kate would never know, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't like understand that my wife's going to buy her pajamas due to the fact that, she just really engages with her comment.
And that happens all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
So fun little testimony of last night, how it works.
Absolutely, guys. So just get out there, right? Talk to people, be present on social media, make it a priority to grow your business.
Cool. Well, much love. Share this, like this, give them some love. Justin Pitts, we're out.